Straight ahead on WBKB, Congress has a new plan following the impeachment trial. Plus, a fireworks show has been approved for one local county this summer, and it's Fat Tuesday. That means punchkis. You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events. We're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz. Sherry's away today. While former President Trump may have been acquitted by the Senate this weekend, his legal troubles are far from over. The former president is facing civil lawsuits after Mississippi Representative and high-ranking Democrat Benny Thompson is suing Trump and his former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, along with the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, for violating the 19th century Ku Klux Klan Act. The act disallows anyone from conspiring to prevent by force, intimidation, or threat any person from accepting or holding any office or performing the duties of that office. The NAACP also filed a lawsuit against former President Trump for violating this act. However, they named the Republican National Committee as co-defendants. And Nancy Pelosi announced yesterday that she aims to create a 9/11-style commission to investigate what she calls the January 6th domestic terrorist attack on the National Capitol complex. In a letter to Democratic colleagues, Pelosi writes that, quote, "We must get to the truth of how this happened. To protect our security, our next step will be to establish an outside, independent 9/11-type commission." Her letter called for additional funds for House member security and said that retired Army Lieutenant General Russell Honore highlighted the need for an independent investigation. Well, the Alpena Public Schools Board of Educators voted to censure former board trustee Stephen Donikowski on Monday. At the start of yesterday's Board of Education meeting, Donikowski officially resigned from his position within the school board. Monday, a petition surfaced calling for the immediate resignation of Donikowski following his Facebook comments about Vice President Kamala Harris that the petition called vulgar, misogynistic statements. According to complaints, there was also other inappropriate comments made on the social media platform in 2020. But exactly what does this resolution for censure for the former board member mean? A Board of Education member explains.
A censure is an expression of very strong disapproval or harsh criticism enacted by a group such as a Board of Education. In Mr. Donikowski's case, there was an incident last summer, again late last week, led to lots and lots of input from various people, and the board decided that it needed to take this step so that everybody would know that we do not approve.
And according to Mr. Snow, some board members, including himself, were unaware of the petition circulating for Donikowski's resignation until yesterday. Snow says although he's spoken with Donikowski regarding the social media incidents in the past, he says yesterday's resignation was unexpected. The board also voted to continue their current COVID-19 learning plan. Board members unanimously agreed to uphold the COVID-19 extended learning plan. Under the current plan, grades K through 5 meet in person, while 6 through 12 use a hybrid model. However, some changes may be in store. The board agreed to arrange a special session for expanding face-to-face instruction time for middle and high school students. The U.S. Senator Gary Peters held a virtual press conference with reporters this morning, urging Michiganders who are uninsured to get health insurance under a new special open enrollment period. Peters was joined on the call by Anita Fox, the director of the Department of Insurance and Financial Services. He said it is absolutely essential for Michiganders to have affordable health care during the pandemic. The Biden administration has opened a special enrollment period, and Peters encourages everyone without insurance to sign up.
And has now opened up enrollment. It actually started yesterday and will continue through May 15th. So folks have the next few months to sign up, and certainly would encourage anyone who currently does not have health care to check out the site.
And as Peters said, this special enrollment period runs until mid-May. Those without coverage can secure a health care plan through the exchange at healthcare.gov. Peters stressed that with the environment of the pandemic, there are several reasons someone can wind up uninsured, and being able to access quality, affordable insurance is a necessity.
In the midst of a pandemic, this is a crisis for everyone, and folks can lose a job for no fault of their own, for whatever reason may find themselves without health care, and it's a frightening prospect.
Well, Peters has repeatedly called for an open enrollment period from the federal government for uninsured Michiganders. Well, the Alpena Chamber of Commerce held their first meeting of the year last week and had some good news to share for 2021. Chamber Vice President Steve Aaron says the fireworks display is a go. This year's display will be held on July 3rd at the Harbor in Harrisville. Aaron says he's been to lots of these shows and adds that they are phenomenal. Another item discussed was the release of a coupon book called the Alpena Savings Passport. Aaron says purchasing the book is a win-win for both the community and business owners.
So it's got coupons in there, and every store can pick their own thing. So some people are going to have, like some restaurants can have like a free dessert, or a buy one get one free, or maybe you go in and you get free candy with the opportunity to quote at an insurance company. Every vendor gets to pick their own.
Well, the cost of the book is $25, but the value to purchasers will be much more than that. Aaron says the book will be available Memorial Weekend in most stores and on the Alpena Chamber website. Although Mardi Gras may be a little different this year, there's still time to grab a punchki this Fat Tuesday. Bakeries around the state have been selling the sweet treat since earlier this morning. In some parts of the country, such as right here in Michigan, the sweet filling treat is a top seller. Fat Tuesday was originally the designated day to celebrate and indulge before Lent, which begins Ash Wednesday this week. A few staff here at WBKB spotted punchkis at Meijer. Well, there's more news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, it's National Almond Day. Think you're good at trivia? Stay tuned.
Getting into the 20s with highs near 25 degrees. There's more warmth in the extended forecast. Also, a couple chances of snow to talk about. All of that's ahead later in the newscast.
Thank you for that, Ellie. Well, today is National Almond Day, and we salute this heart-healthy nut. Researchers have found that they significantly increase the amount of antioxidants in the bloodstream, reduce blood pressure, and improve blood flow. Doctors often recommend almonds as a snack because they reduce cholesterol levels. A question for you. Can you name the top almond-producing nation? We'll tell you the answer later in the show. And in more health news, Phase 1 trial results are in regarding a potential vaccine for the mosquito-borne virus Zika. Plus, scientists discover a link between cardiovascular disease and dementia decades before symptoms occur. Nancy Chen has a look at some of the day's top health stories.
Preventing cardiovascular disease in midlife may also protect against dementia later in life. Researchers in Spain looked at scans of more than 500 middle-aged people. They found a connection between the buildup of fats and other substances in the arteries and low metabolism in regions of the brain involved in memory and learning. A potential vaccine for the mosquito-borne virus Zika is showing promise. That's according to a new study in the Annals of Internal Medicine. In a Phase 1 trial, antibody responses up to a year after vaccination were observed in at least 80% of participants. And recreational drinking, smoking, and drug use is linked to premature heart disease in young people. Researchers in Texas say the higher the number of substances used regularly, the higher the risk. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
And coming up on WBKB News, Ellie Morrison is next with your 7-day forecast plus the photo of the day. Stay tuned.
After that, early next week, highs near 35 degrees on a Monday, a chance of a few snow showers early Tuesday with highs reaching the upper 30s. And today's photo was sent in by Jackie Leavesley. Those rainbow colors you're seeing in the cloud, that's called cloud iridescence. It happens because of the way ice crystals in the cloud scatter light. Thank you, Jackie, for sending us this photo. And if you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you'd like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com.
Oh, thank you for that, Ellie. It almost looks like the northern lights during the day, even though I know that's not accurate. Well, here's the answer to our trivia question earlier on the show. Almonds are grown in the United States more than anywhere else on Earth. In fact, the United States dominates the global production of almonds, followed by traditional growers Spain and Italy. California is the largest almond producer in the world. And it's my well-known favorite day of the week here at WBKB, Pets of the Week. Today's pets are Olay, Stella, Vera Wang, and Lancome.
Our first pet today is Lancome. This 2-year-old boy came in a few weeks ago nearly paralyzed. Thankfully, he's on the mend after several trips to the vet. He's still incredibly shy, though, and needs more time to get used to people. Lancombe's looking for a calm, relaxing house to call home. Our next 3 cats are owner surrenders from the same home. They're all well socialized and get along well with people and other cats. First, we have Vera Wang. This lovely lady is an expecting mother, and while that makes her a little moody and territorial right now, you can see she's still incredibly affectionate. If you want to adopt her, you'll have to wait a few months. She needs to give birth and raise her kids until they're independent. Next is Stella. She's 8 months old and somewhat aloof. She can be affectionate when she wants to, but you have to convince her you're worth her attention. Finally, meet Olay. She's got an incredibly soft coat of fur and she loves being pet. Olay would love to come home and rest on your lap. You can learn more about adoption at HuronHumaneSocietyInc.org.
Cat bomb there. Well, sports is coming up next, but first, Jake Vanderbrook is here with a preview. Jake, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening, Tyler? Next in sports, the Alpena Community College cross-country team. They accomplished something they've never done before as a program. I'll have more on that story. Plus, number 11 ranked Michigan is playing their first home game since January 10th. That's over a month ago, people. They're on the floor battling their rivals, Michigan State. Highlights and more.
Well, staying on the Tuesday Pets theme, humans weren't the only ones celebrating Valentine's Day this weekend. Over in Northern California, African penguins at the California Academy of Sciences got some special Valentine's hearts with a yummy meal of herring. It was all part of a virtual Valentine's celebration. The event was a fundraiser for the Academy. While the facility is closed, some of the penguins even made Valentine's art of their own. They carried these little red hearts in their beaks. Well, that's all we have for you this evening. You can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online. Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night. And check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11. Be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 with Stephanie Minichi. Have a great night.